Bum, bum. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Isaiah working today?
I haven't heard if Isaiah is like working today or not. So it's like he only like goes it shows up in like the messenger group honestly when it's like time to like for the show to start. Uh okay. They're gonna pop up the chat as well. Where's the there we go. That's the thing to pop out the chat. So I got both like Twitch chats and like YouTube chats like open as well too. Uh, moving things around. And I gotta like also like share around to like all the places now that I
Okay,
got
they're
the
gonna pop up the
stream link for the
chat as
YouTube as well
well.
too. So
Where's
back
the
to
there?
here.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. I happen to have like the thing open, so like I know that like we are live.
Yeah, I gotta rearrange this a little bit because it was a different window when we first started it when Joey and I were testing it. So, anyway,
Yeah. What you said.
there. So normally this would be the Siobhan O'Connor show, but it ain't today. It's on my channel, but it ain't today.
Well, it can be, but like no, it's a little different today. Yes.
Sort of, kind of, yeah. We're doing the this is like the social justice alchemy 2.0 or revisited
Yes.
or whatever,
Yes.
This is our backup channel. Something happens or whatever, which did some stuff was taken care of. So if something happens, we have this as a backup, so we can still run the show or not. So a lot of people, anybody who's actually following me at all, knows who I am. So, Geek, introduce yourself, please.
Is Siobhan O'Connor has an interesting like selection of friends, including some random geek. Yes, I am some random geek. Geek of various like different types as well too. I am a genderqueer, dead and non-binary man plus two they he say pronouns. When I am man, when I'm not man, I don't know what the hell I am. Gender queer. And I'm a narco-syndicalist, and a person who like you have to like help them shut up. No. Actually, I think I am pretty good. But the thing is, like, again, once you get these started as well too, especially on like any kind of topic that like I can talk a lot about as well too. Drop House can talk about politics, Star Wars, anime, video games, stuff like that. I could go on and go on and go on. But the thing, if you like watch like this channel with like Siobhan O'Connor or something like that, you kind of expected that as well too. So like, yeah, that's me. Hello.
It's cute that you think you can out-talk me. Indigenous? How about you?
Yeah, I'm indigenous, non-binary, two-spirit. Um, I go by Joey. That
you.
is a shortened version of what I consider to be my dead name. I don't like my name that I was born with. It's too effeminate for me. And so I chose to be a more androgynous version of that by using Joey. I don't believe that anybody who is non binary owes anybody else androgyny. But I am proud to be androgynous myself. And indigenous too, for that matter.
Yep. There is no indigenous like people's like months or anything like that. Plenty of indigenous people's days and indigenous people's weeks, something like that, but no indigenous people's months.
There's no indigenous like no indigenous. Okay, I am Siobhan O'Connor. Duh. Hello. I'm a very mouthy leftist. If I had to pin myself down, I would say I'm a socialist. Maybe tiny bit towards democratic socialist. The only problem I have with that is that it's capitalist in nature. But if I had to choose between an actual democratic socialist government, oh my God, like Mandani in New York, and whatever this hellhole is that we're living in, or we have been living in for the last 200 years, 300 years, whatever, I'll take that to some extent. Indigenous, I had a discussion earlier today about the ableism in the leftist community, and the fact that a lot of it, I was myself the same way when I first started in the lefty community. A lot of it is focused on workers, but what about people who can't work? What about people who don't want to work? What about people who don't want to work a drudgery job, you know, where they're working at Wally World or wherever, you know, and they got people crapping on them and shit. And then get me started in retail. Okay. Anyway, so very lefty, mouthy person. I am of Irish descent. I'm an American of Irish descent, mostly Irish descent. I'm an American, like most of us are. I am, as I was talking to Indigenous earlier, I am part white and part white and part white and part white and part white. Just happens. One is a lot larger than the rest of them, and that one is less shitty than the rest of them, and it just happens to be the one that I like the best anyway. So, as my grandmother would say, I'm fucking Irish.
For me, it's kind of like I'm part white, part white, part white, and 1/64th pot of Wanaba as well too. But like for all intents and purposes, I am white. It's mostly English. Strangely enough, my mom is half English, and while my dad is a third English, so I'm still a third English, so I'm still a third sock in that way.
No wonder I don't like you. Same for John. I always tell him, you know, you English bastard or whatever. One of my really good friends at work, I've been retired from there 3 years and I still call it at work, so it gets in their head. Where I used to work at Wally World, on third shift, he's still my best friend. We still yak every once in a while on the phone. Used to call me that cheap Irish drunk, which is okay. I mean, I charge, but I ain't cheap. But that's okay, because I just called him that cheap Dutch bastard. Because he's Dutch. He's like Dutch. He's like, if he could stick his finger in the dike, that's the kind of Dutch he is. Okay. He just happened to be born in America, but he's Dutch.
Yeah.
So, for anybody who's watching the show now, for anybody who wants to watch the show later, or whatever, my show and SJA are pretty well synced together. SJA is usually a panel. Mine isn't often, but yeah, SJA is usually a panel. And we talk about all kinds of topics. We're going to bring up half a dozen or more topics today. I'm not doing my show today. I've got some other things going on in my life. But so we may go a little longer on this show, and it's up to y'all. You know, because the first show I did by myself, like 4 years ago, way back when. I've gone through a lot of names. I think it was like the Geriatric Grouch or the White Crone or something. And I was talking with a friend afterwards, and I asked her how it went, and she, you know, she watched it, and she said she thought it went cool, you know, whatever, for my first show, etc. And I said, well, you know, I only talked to her a little while, and she said, how long do you think you talked? I said, I don't know, hour and a half to 4 hours. by myself, and did not have, wasn't like tired of talking, wasn't sore throat, whatever, nothing like that.
Wow.
Just, you know, I thought, you know, people have probably watched me long enough, you know, an hour or two is long enough to watch me, you know. No, it's 4 hours. So, let's start with Geek, since I think he has more topics than I do, yes. And maybe Indigenous does, so go for it.
Well, first of all, I like good news, like, yay! James Dobson has died. His
Yeah.
yes. And
Yes.
for those of you who somehow don't know, but Joey Clever knows, is like he is a evangelical, but damn, he lived such a long life. He was born in 1936. He died in like 93 or something like that. But like he is known for being like the head of Focus on the Family. And if anyone here is like in the audience who knows just like that kind of love, oh, Focus on the Family.
Those bigoted, freaking jackass motherfuckers.
Not only that, but I grew up in the cult, as many people know, and I have. We're not going to go into great detail. This isn't a therapy session, but I have both mental and physical scars still after 60 odd years of them happening, 30 odd years of me being out of the cult. And he wrote a book called The Strong-Willed Child, which was all about how to punish a child who showed any independence whatsoever. And we're not just talking like, you know, go in a corner, a timeout, or whatever, literally be, there's a lot of people that have suffered a lot of abuse at the hands of this fucking asshole. So, there's another gender-neutral bathroom there.
Yes, exactly. James Thompson's grave as well, too. Because, that's... agreed. It's like whatever organization he runs is it has to be a
Somebody once suggested that my mom used that book on me, and my mom's literal response was, "I will beat you with that book before I use it on my child."
Yes, because I know full disclosure, I was spanked as a child, but just spanked as well too. Because my dad got worse. But still, I still count spanking as abuse as well too. But the thing is, you gotta remember, okay, will the child understand why you are slapping them or spanking them as well too?
Number one.
Okay, then use any other means to do the discipline as well too. And if they do understand, then how come you don't talk to them of why you disapprove of their behavior? And again, it's just I don't know, later on it became simple things where parents didn't have to yell or raise their voice. They just have to say, we're disappointed with you as well too.
Lazy, it's a shortcut, cycle of abuse,
Yes.
I was spanked and I turned out well. If you think that beating your child and causing pain is good, you didn't turn out well.
Neurodivergent component to being anti-authoritarian.
Bingo. Right there.
And so neurodivergent kids are going to get abused even worse than the quote-unquote typical kids.
Yep.
And also because hashtag not every neurodivergent person, but
Right.
a lot of neurodivergent people look at rules this way. One, is the rule bad? Then I ain't following it.
Yeah.
Does the rule not make sense? I'm not following it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if the rule does make sense, why the hell isn't everybody else following it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and also, that's why, in case anyone doesn't know, I am neurodivergent for sure because I'm dyslexic, and I just self-diagnosed myself with ADHD. Autism, maybe.
You ADHD? No.
No, I am a multitask ninja. No, I literally have a plaque at work that's multitask ninja because that's not a legitimate title. So that's why I'm Stockholm clerk as well too. But no, being able to hold two conversations at once. I can listen to an audiobook while I'm playing Fortnite as well too.
I listen to an audiobook every night while I read a different ebook.
I have done that before accidentally. I didn't intend to, but I just wait a minute. I'll actually turn what I'm listening to some relaxing reading thing as well too. But yeah. But and it's this. My mom grew up in the Catholic Church as well too, and she naturally is left-handed, but because of the rulers from the nuns, she only writes right-handed as well too.
Right.
Apparently being left-handed is devil's work. I don't understand.
Well, it is mentioned in the Bible.
Oh.
Yep, it is.
Right.
It is. And it isn't just in the Bible. I mean, if you look in Islam, the left hand is the hand of the devil, side of the devil, so to speak, whatever. Judaism doesn't have it as much. There's a little bit there, especially in the really, okay, so I was a kosher Jew for 10 years. So you have from the most lenient to the most strict. You start out with humanist Jew, which a lot of them are atheists. A lot of Jews are atheists regardless, but humanist Jew, then Reform, then conservative, then Orthodox. You'd think it would be the reverse, but conservative, then Orthodox, and then Hasidim. And I was Orthodox, and so was my ex. He still is. The Hasidim, we called them the penguins. They're the ones that wear black and they got the curlies on the high of the face. Right? Yes, okay. And the tefillins and the hats and the whatever. The women wear, depends upon the tradition, but it's either, well, for the males, it's a kippah, okay, or yarmulke. For the women, it's usually called a hadassah, if it's called anything other than a scarf, okay, and it's a headscarf. Or a lot of times, Orthodox or Hasidim women will either shave their heads and wear a wig, or keep their hair short and put it in a tight bun or whatever, and then wear a wig. Except during certain times, because of the. I'm not going to go on into it, but basically there's a separation between them and God, as far as they're concerned. That's why they wear a wig. That's why the men wear a kippah or a yarmulke, whatever you want to call it, and the different hats and whatever. Because religion has to.
I met a Hasidic rabbi once who couldn't shake my hand because I was born female, and you can't shake hands, you can't touch women who are not your wife. Right. If you're a Hasidic rabbi.
If you're Orthodox or more, now some conservative do it too, but if you're Orthodox or Hasidim, and you are female in the household, you don't go outside the house without your head being covered in some way. Some of them even go so far as to use a very flimsy, looks almost like a fishing net, but it's like it's usually crocheted hat or whatever. But it's technically it's a cover.
Of course, when I met that rabbi, that was before I was even aware of the term non-binary.
Right.
Like I didn't grow up with that term.
And as a boomer, I didn't grow up with trans. When I first came out, I thought and identified as a gay male crossdresser because I didn't know what trans was. And then one of my good friends, she asked me one day, we were talking about different identities and whatever, and she said, and there's trans too. And I said, what's trans? And I've been wearing feminine stuff for years, but this is before I came out fully as trans. And she said, about a year, and she said, why do you wear women's clothes? And I said, because I can't walk around naked. And she started laughing. She goes, no, she said, so do you get any thrill out of wearing women's clothes? I said, they're just clothes. She said, then you're trans. I'm like, okay, what's that? So then she explained it to me. So we got kind of sidetracked. No, not us. So we were talking about the new gender-neutral toilet. Dobson's.
Yeah, that's about it. I had to bring up the news that he's dead, yay, and yeah, that's that's the thing that he was a bigot, it's extremely homophobic, massively homophobic.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes.
Because he was big on conversion therapy, which is just god awful, just death to those people as well too, honestly, because trying to force someone that they're not as well too,
which kind of brings up the ABA again, because it's the same freaking process that they use in ABA as they use in conversion therapy.
And then also with neurodivergent kids, that their parents or whoever want to use ABA on them, it's basically just this, it's conforming. You have to conform to this or that or whatever. And I didn't know hardly anything about ABA or Autism Speaks or whatever. Which, by the way, Autism Speaks can suck my big Irish ass. But I didn't know anything about any of that, and a friend of mine was telling me about it, and I asked what ABA was, and they were explaining it to me, and it's making you conform, and but the way they explained it also, I mean, some parents will even withhold food.
There's training methods that literally dog and animal trainers would never use on animals that they use on children, human children. And it's just like, what the fuck, man?
So the puzzle piece, no. The blue bucket on Halloween, no. Okay, because that for a couple of reasons. One, it separates that child, okay, and singles that child out. Number one, and two, they're coming up to get free candy, which you're supposed to be giving them. Okay,
right? It's nobody's business.
Give them the damn
like
candy. You know,
like
they walk up and I just go, here you go, here you go. When I could afford it, because the price that we were talking about it the other day, the price of candy nowadays. Because I would love to be able to get like, you know, maybe a 5-gallon bucket worth of candy and pass out a couple pieces at a time. And, you know, pretty soon I'd have all of the neighborhood kids over here.
Oh, I know people who do the full freaking candy bars.
Ooh. So
and they get visited like
right.
That everybody marks their house and goes to
not
their
on my
house.
income, they don't. But also here, there is a neighborhood. It's the ritzy neighborhood in town.
Oh yeah.
And it's right near the hospital. And they do, and a lot of people will do a lot of lawn decorations and whatever. And they kind of just go around from house to house, you know. And people pass out candy, whatever. And so that's cool. So at least there is a place. And some places have like trunk or treats, you know, and churches have it or whatever.
I'm gonna have to finance Halloween this year because my building, we have a community room that's downstairs on the first floor that has a door that comes in, and it's a glass door on a wall of glass. It's like a glass enclosed room, like partially.
Right.
And we set up the tables inside the community room in a horseshoe shape. And then the residents sit on one side, and the kids
go around
in the door, go around the horseshoe, say thank you if they're verbal,
right,
and continue on out the door.
That's kind of cool, though.
And it was a really cool thing last year, but I wanted to like actually contribute to the candy supply this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we ran low on candy, there were so many kids.
But you get a bag that's like that big, it's $20.
Right.
60 pieces is 20 if you get it for that.
And I have to finance that shit. I don't
Right.
have that kind of money.
You know, I would love to be able to do that. So some other people that are also up for the winner of the Remembrance. This is the Remembrance Award, okay, for the winner of the Neutral General Bathrooms. Our Rush Limbaugh, he's still dead.
Yes. Yes. Congratulations on what's been top 4 years sobriety. Congrats on him. So, yeah.
Right, exactly. Pat Robertson, he's still dead.
Yes.
Joe Robertson, he's still dead. Let's see who else. Ronald Reagan.
Yep. He's still dead.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher,
she's
yeah.
dead.
I have words for her, and they're not words that a lot of Americans like to hear, so I'm not going to use them, but I do have words for her that are more acceptable in Britain and especially in Australia. You know what those kind of words are like. You know, I love my Australian friends. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of friends in Australia, but y'all are some mouthy suckers just like me. Okay.
Is Cheney dead yet?
Dick Cheney's not dead
No,
yet.
unfortunately. Unfortunately. You know,
I know.
It's like,
we
really?
finally got Henry Kissinger, but like, not Dick Cheney.
There's that meme that you see of death, and it's got that claw machine, you know, and it's like, I got the wrong one again, or whatever, right? And it goes, so he's looking, and he's dropping, he goes, did I get it? Did I get it? And as he's picking up the body, okay, he goes, no, he got Dobson. Okay, no, but I'm getting closer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, like people have their problems with like Ozzy Osbourne, but many people love Ozzy Osbourne, and people said like, no, God, we don't want you to kill the old white guy. That's not the one we're thinking of. Then Hulk Hogan died. It's like, okay, God, you're getting closer.
Right, you're getting closer. Yeah.
Wrong orange guy.
Yeah. True. And he came out during the Republican convention and did that whole tearing up the shirt thing, and I was like, oh my God, where? I remember one of my favorite people to watch. Okay, shout out to him on YouTube is Off Joe Wagon. It's spelled OFF_JAWAGGON. Okay, he does a lot of politics stuff, but sometimes he does, science and whatever. It's a really funny show he does, or funny clips he does. He's walking around and he does, he's talking to his phone and whatever. Absolutely great. He has one that you should check out called on Chris Murphy, Senator of Connecticut. Go check him out, because we might get into this a little more a little later in the show, but Gavin Newsom can also kiss my big Irish ass. And if I could, if he was there, I wish I lived in Connecticut so I could vote for Chris Murphy. And or if he decides to run, because it's more than 2 years before we get into the official campaign season, and liberals are already coronating Newsom. No. One, he shit on homeless people. There are literally pictures of him clearing away homeless people's personal belongings in camps. Okay, destroying them. And then number two, he's gone on 2 now right-wing podcasts and shit on trans people. No, fuck him. Fuck anybody that thinks like him. I don't care if you're liberal or not. I don't care if you're Democrat or not. I'm not blue MAGA. Neither are these two. Okay, we're not blue MAGA. I have voted Democrat before. I voted Democrat this last time because the alternative sucked ass, as we are finding out. A lot of people.
I voted Democrat as part of harm reduction, but I've never actually had there's never been, let's put it this way, there's never been anybody that got me to the polls. Every time I've been to the polls, it has been to reduce the harm that Republicans were going to do if I could. And that's how I voted.
Mallory McMorrow here in Michigan, I happen to be in that district, okay, is running for senator, okay. Chris Murphy, I think, is running again for senator, okay, and he's pretty, I don't want to say he's got it locked down, okay, but he beat, the first time when he ran for the House, I'm not going to go into a long list, but, it's on my professional Facebook page. He beat a 10-year Republican incumbent, been in office for 10 years, incumbent with all that power and all that political machinery, and he beat them, okay? And then he beat Linda McMahon of the, in charge of education now, Linda McMahon.
The WWE
Linda McMahon. Like he says, during this clip, I'm going to repeat what he said. Like he said, he said, just like we're living in idiocracy, he said, I wish we could go back to when that movie was actually funny.
Now it's like just a sad actual take on our reality.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what's another one you got, Geek?
Okay. So, do you know that, like, DC's being, like, taken over by, like, Trump and trying to federalize the police and stuff like that? And, like, but also, like, it's, like, bringing the FBI onto, like, the streets, and it's like, wait, you want Fox Mulder and Dana Scully to, like, be cops and, like, doing, like, crowd control?
Well,
they're not trained for that.
And the military.
Although my brain understand what FBI does?
Yeah. Although my brain temporarily sidestep just very briefly. When you said DC, my brain went comic book. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the same thing. So, which is why when I say I'm from Washington, I'd say I'm from Washington State, not Washington DC, because, like, yeah.
Right.
And Washington State flag sucks. I will say that as well, too. Would have voted Kane again if it wasn't for Burns voting as well. Okay, that's the DC joke. Anyway, so, like, DC's being, like, taken over as well, too, and DC residents are not happy with it, including one guy who, like, he works for the Department of Justice as well, too, but, like, was just out and, like, yelling at these ICE enforcers, the ICE Customs Border Patrol officers. I'll get it. My microphone. No, it's not back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I touch the microphone, the cord disconnects on the microphone. Anyway, hey, so the guy was yelling at these like customers, and then he threw his Subway sandwich at the officer and then booked it as well too.
Oh,
And they
I
charged
heard
him
about
with a
this.
felony.
Yes, he's charged with a felony as well too for
Which is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I hate lettuce, but
but Siobhan, it was assault with a deadly weapon.
I've seen
You
that
got
before.
the fuck out.
Just by the way, so
Have
people know,
celiac disease?
so
Like,
people know, I don't have the money currently to do the, excuse me, the pro version of Zoom. So in about 5 minutes,
Okay.
we're gonna restart the show. Take just like 2 or 3 minutes off. You know, you can go to the bathroom real quick, or you know, grab a bottle of beer, or you know, a pop or whatever. Okay, ice cream, whatever. Um, a hint: if you got really hot coffee, you gotta have it hot, boiling. Okay, really hot coffee. Put a teaspoon of your favorite ice cream in it. Boom, you got a creamer of whatever flavor you like. Okay. Um, and now I don't know if cheesecake would do that properly or what, because if it does, oh my god, lemon cheesecake coffee would be phenomenal. But so what were we talking about? I'm not ADHD, no, not a bit.
The assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh,
as well,
yes,
too.
yes.
assault with a deadly salmon.
Yes.
Yes.
This guy is the DC hero that we all need.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, and he apparently also, yeah, he's in charge of a felony with why, and also he's got fired by the DOJ because, like, well, of course, it was too. However, when you see the videos of like that, he was running. The cops did not catch up with him as well too. So like, yeah, apparently the people in DC they're joggers because like yeah, they were after him. I was going from those like customs orders, customs agents as well too. But yeah, it's just like part of the whole thing of like Trump. He was like, even though it's like people say it's like, oh, that's because Big Balls was assaulted as well too. Yes, the former Doge like employee named Big Balls was apparently was rescuing and preventing a carjacking
And
happening.
his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked by a couple of teenagers.
Shucky darns is. Okay, so we're gonna take a couple minutes break here. We're gonna take a couple minutes break here. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you a story about a guy who shot 2 people on his front porch and got no charges whatsoever. And the cops were involved. So, where is my thing next to the thing by my thing? Okay, so I'm going to end this real quick. We're going to come back in about 3-4 minutes. Okay?
That's so
Alrighty.
good. Lobby.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
You had a story that you were going to tell us, right? If I remember correctly.
But Nala wanted to know. I think Nala wanted to know a little bit more about what we thought about the sub story. In the DC.
Hey, well, I mean, hey, it's just like, think about it this way. It's kind of like maybe the story of the Assault with the Deadly Weapon or the DC hero and so on like that. It'd probably just be like the kind of like meme as well too. I don't suspect that like the sub sandwich is going to be like the anti-five weapon as well too against authoritarian like the milkshake was as well too. But funny enough, if you do you remember like how that started? I think it's basically it's like I remember a friend like Kevin Wolfus on stream said like who is that white supremacist? It's like having just that narrow it down. There's a lot of white supremacists. The one in Britain is like if maybe you're thinking about Tommy Robinson because how to describe it it's that Tommy Robinson it was Tommy Robinson and C.D. Jackson Lennon the like the leader of the English Defense League, just a football hooligan that likes to beat up people, and he hates Muslim people and brown-skinned people with a burning passion as well too. And that's how the milkshake thing started because like he just like him and his goons were harassing this like Iranian man who just was like it was just out on a nice sunny day on a Saturday, and he was bothered by like Tommy Robinson, and all he had in his hand was a milkshake he got from McDonald's. So to get Tommy Robinson out of his fucking face, he threw the milkshake at him as well too. And that's how the milkshake meme of the milkshake being like the anti-five super weapon that happened as well too. I'm not sure if that's going to happen with Subway sandwiches because like you have to milkshakes are a lot cheaper and you can easily make them on your own as well too. Well, it's like Subway sandwiches. Why waste?
That's a waste of Subway sandwich to throw it at the top. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think that's the only real justifiable use of lettuce.
We can do that. Let us have them. Yes.
Siobhan's just in favor of throwing heads of lettuce at people now.
Yes.
Well, okay, so one of which reminds me, not that we get sidetracked at all.
Spinach is a better green vegetable anyway.
There was a group that I used to play D&D with every Sunday for almost a year, and it was a running gag that we had food fights. But we're not talking where we had food fights. We would because if you've ever played D&D, everybody, just like what we do, okay? They'll sidestep the conversation and talk about something else for 5-10 minutes or whatever. So we were talking about food fights. But how you would take food items and make them into ammunition or weapons. So the long pieces of Polish sausage, you tie a string on two ends, you freeze them and they're nunchucks, okay? If you freeze cantaloupe and heads of lettuce, which again is the only purpose you can use lettuce for, makes great catapult ammunition, okay? If you take, Vienna sausage and stick them on toothpicks and make them like the jacks like you used to play with and step on, those are Caltricks, okay?
Yes, I remember those actually.
Bananas are boomerangs that don't quite boomerang. You freeze them and
yes.
But yeah, it's just a sign of the ridiculousness and the inefficiency isn't the word I want, although they are inefficient to some extent.
Yeah.
But the ignorance and the vapidity and inanity of this administration that you're going to arrest a guy, charge him on a federal charge for throwing a sandwich at someone. In the meantime, look how many people in the last calendar month, not this calendar year, last calendar month, that were shot and killed by cops unnecessarily.
Yep.
They were running away. I don't care if they were running or not. I don't care if they were, whatever their quote-unquote crime is. I don't know what that... Oh, I see what it is now. My eyesight sucks, beast. Sorry. So, I don't know. I don't care what their crime is, but like one case, fortunately, it was being recorded, and that's what I love now is where people are recording stuff. Because if it hadn't been for the recording, this guy would have gotten away with it, the cop. There was a guy who had a warrant out for his arrest for non-payment of child support. You know, the violent crime. Now, and I'm saying it's not a crime, but the non-payment of child support. He's running away from the cop on the other side of this park. The cop shoots him in the back and kills him. Walks up and drops his taser on the body. And then claims that... Huh?
I remember when that happened.
And then claimed that the guy, you know, that he and the guy struggled, whatever, and he would have gotten away with it, except for the fact that it was recorded. Okay?
Yep.
Derek Chauvin with George Floyd, you know, he would have gotten away with it.
Yep.
Except for the fact that that brave young woman recorded that ass wipe. So my story. So, well, this involves shooting. It involves cops. Unfortunately, it doesn't involve shooting cops, which, you know, is a bad thing. Nobody should ever shoot cops. But also, if you're going to do something, if you're going to protest, it's fine if you protest, but you should never carry some bottles of, some tubes of super glue with you and squirt them on door locks while people are not in their car because they're doing fascist things. You should never do anything like that. That's a bad thing to do. Don't do that. Anyway, so this was in Houston, Texas, in a neighborhood. I don't know what the neighborhood demographics sort of consisted of. It's just in a neighborhood. Nala says, he got a pardon, so I argue Schwab's got away with it, 1312, or so. Well, see, here's the thing. He got a pardon for federal crimes. He didn't get a pardon for state crimes. So he's still in prison for that. Where was I?
The shooting that happened in like Houston, Texas.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, because you know I've been officially diagnosed as ADHD. What a surprise! So what happened was this homeowner. Now, during the news story that I watched, one time they said homeowner and one time they said homeowners. So I don't know if that was just like not that it was bad, but like a slip of the tongue. They meant one person or they meant two people or whatever. But what happened was, you got a knock on a door apparently. Or doorbell or whatever, and this homeowner goes up and has a Ring camera, and there's two guys standing there with what's the word I'm looking for? What do you call it? The not flak vest.
Kevlar?
Well, you know, the chest armor. I can't think of the word that they use.
Oh, bulletproof armor.
Yeah, bulletproof vest. Okay, so they got bulletproof vests on. Okay. They have some sort of mask. I'm assuming it's like a ski mask or whatever that has, you know, their face is open, but all the rest, you know, like the eyes maybe, but all the rest is covered. Okay.
Yeah.
They're claiming they have a warrant. There's no cop car. There's no lights. There's no nothing. Okay. So first of all, these guys were inept to begin with, and sometimes, you know, ignorance is a capital crime. But anyway, so they're claiming they have a warrant. Well, the homeowner doesn't believe them. There's no car, there's no whatever. And apparently they had some sort of badge around their neck, maybe on a lanyard or whatever. So at one point they decided apparently, you know, they didn't want to just, you know, try to talk this guy into it anymore. So they shot at him through the door. Okay. Two of them. And he said, "Oh no, you're not going to do that to me." And he shot back. 22 rounds were exchanged between the three, okay? He didn't get a scratch on him. Both the guys died. Now my question was, Indigenous and I were talking about this earlier, my question was, so if he's got body armor on, you know, a vest, whatever, you know, were they shot in the head? Were they maybe shot in the leg? You know, femoral artery, whatever, because like I said, you know, if you get shot in the femoral artery, you got maybe 60 seconds to stop that or you're dead. You're just dead. That's all there is to it. Unless, like, there's an ambulance right there and then they have to put a tourniquet on and whatever else. And they said that the cops did arrive, you know, because the homeowner called, the cops did arrive and they tried doing CPR or whatever, it was just too late. Chuckies. But here's the thing, I've been expecting something like this. My only chagrin is that it wasn't somebody who was attempting to do fascist bullshit. Because I'm sorry, but if I have the means to defend myself and somebody comes up and threatens me with a gun or threatens to take me into custody with no proof of who they are, that's not going to happen.
Right?
Not without a little bit of a tussle.
No warrant, no nothing. Fuck that.
Yeah, no. Not without a little bit of a tussle. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and there are several states that are like stand your ground, and well, it's like no, if you have like
Texas is one. This is where it happened. Houston, Texas. Texas is one of them. Florida's another one. And there's other. I think there's like 20, 30 states, whatever it is, they have stand your ground.
California is one, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, and it's like people can definitely have their disagreements with the Second Amendment. I'm indifferent. It's like with that as well too, but like nope, that people have the right to like own a gun, and it's just like yeah, and like. There is like something to say about like self-defense. So like
there's an old saying that if you go far enough, if you go left far enough, you get your guns back.
Yeah.
I am a proponent of the Second Amendment. I am also a proponent of sensible gun laws, like
oh yeah.
Now and some of my lefties friends are not, okay, but you know because and I can understand kind of where they're coming from because if the government says okay, well geek, you know. We've decided that you're a danger to society. Therefore, you can no longer have a weapon legally. Okay, and it can be just because you're a protester.
Yep.
So, and like this guy that got hit with a felony for the sandwich, if he's convicted, just like the orange shit gibbon in the tarnished house, I won't call it the White House, although White House is, you know, white supremacy house, but anyway. Just like the orange shit given, he's not allowed to ever have a weapon again, ever, legally.
Yeah.
Now it says, I go to protest with my smithing hammer, EDC, I'm not sure what that is, combat knife, class 3 vest, motorcycle jacket, class lining, front and back plates, shoot me with pepper balls, I just get pissed. Yeah. Good.
Don't forget to bring water. And that's always something that you easily can like do. Like bring water and like
water you can use to wash your eyes out. Water you can use to drink. Water you can use to help somebody else. Whatever.
An extra water that you can give away would be a good one.
Right.
Yes. Do not use milk for tear gas or like pepper spray. So like do not use milk. Do not use milk. Water. It's
right.
like. Yes, if you're using milk for like getting rid of tear gas on you guys, you're have an excellent way to making eye cheese. It's just like no, it's just
good. Like, now it says daily carry handgun. Good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I served in the military a day or two ago, in the previous century. Sidestep. Don't let me forget about tear gas. But I was watching Tom Powell, another person you should watch on YouTube, by the way. I don't agree with everything he says. He's a capitalist. And he's pro-death penalty in some cases. Okay. He does believe in UBI for some people, is what he says. So, but other than that, probably 90% of the shit, he and I agree. Okay. And one of which is, you know, that he's pro first, Second Amendment, etc. Okay. Where the hell was I going with this?
Don't know.
See, it's your fault. You guys are supposed to know.
No, you were just going to introduce this guy and going off about the guy, and I don't.
Talking about Tom Powell. Okay, so let's go back to the other one, and then I'll remember it. Okay, maybe.
Tear gas as well.
Tear gas. Okay, so I served in the military, and I served at the end of the Cold War, which was again a day or two. Now I remember. See if I backtrack. Like I told Indigenous, I always remember. So I'm watching Tom Powell, and he does some funny stuff sometimes. He does a lot of political shit, but he does some funny stuff sometimes. Okay, and one of them, he has this look. He's an older white man. Okay, beard, mustache, glasses, you know, crew cut, whatever. Okay, you look at him and you'd think, you know, redneck Trumper, and he's way away from that. So he's looking at the camera like this, just. Like he's pissed off or something for about 10 seconds. And then he goes like this, and then it switches, because he showcases other people sometimes. And there's this young woman, somewhere, she's under 25, I'll say that, okay? And she's holding a cassette tape, like this. although it's bigger, obviously, for those who don't know what a cassette tape is. She's holding a cassette tape, and she says, and this is a perfect example, because he like, took it in part of her, in the middle of her video or whatever, right? This is a perfect example of late 19th century music. And he gives this, like, for another 5-10 seconds, okay, and then he's like, is she wrong? No. Did I need to hear that shit today? Also no. So, I was in the military, stationed overseas, and it was in Germany. And when you go in the military, one of the things that you do, at least at that time frame, and I'm assuming now too, again, this is near the end of the Cold War, so Checkpoint Charlie was still in place. East and West Berlin were still split, East and West Germany. We have to be tested for efficacy of knowing how to use a gas mask, okay, as a military member. And so, like I've told people this before, you have 5 seconds to put that gas mask on. They give you 8 as a starting goal to practice, but they want you to do it in less than 5 seconds. Okay, so if you've got this, you're going to put this gas mask on, okay, and you say, war hits, and you're going to put this gas mask on, and you're going to try to save yourself your life long enough to do whatever you're going to do. Okay, you got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that mask isn't unsealed, you're dead. It's that simple. And so one of the ways that they test your reactions to this and your speed on it, whatever, is they put, I think there was like 10 of us in this room. There is in a different part of it's the same room, the same part of the room, ventilation-wise, but it's in a different section. Okay. And there's a chemical, I think it's acid, and they drop this pill in, and that when I do, it creates tear gas. I don't know how it does the chemical, I have no idea. Okay. And so we go in there and we put our gas mask on. The NCO comes around, make sure that it's sealed, et cetera, okay. Officers have to do this too. So we put the gas mask on, it's all sealed, whatever, right? So it comes in, and obviously if it's not sealed, you're going to be able to tell. And then they tell us to take the gas mask off for like 10 to 20 seconds. And then we can walk out of the room. So I've been through tear gas, okay? It's rough. It's not undoable, but it is rough, okay? Yeah. One of the things, though, I did want to mention also when we were talking, when Nala was talking, whatever, and I think that's great that they do that. Absolutely fucking great that they do that. But just because if you can't, doesn't mean you can't help out. If you have the spoons for it, I'm not saying that everybody has to do everything, absolutely possible every second, every moment of the day. But if you want to share information, especially if it's local stuff, okay, because you can get online and spout whatever, okay. But if you connect with some local people and talk about where you would go if something came down, or how you would get water, or cause like the town that I live in, the river goes right through the middle of it. Okay, I live literally, probably less than 75 yards from the river. Okay, I wouldn't want to drink it on a regular basis, untreated, but the stuff that's in that river is, basically, if you boil it, it's safe to drink. Okay, sometimes safer than the city water. But if you boil it, it's safe to drink. But things like that, or maybe trading things, or like, so for example, I'm not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form, but I put on all kinds of splints, seen, and in the case of me doing it on myself, sewed people up with sutures. I know how to sterilize wounds, surface wounds, okay. First aid, I used to teach first aid class, okay. Different things like that. So that's a skill that I have, along with other skills, but that's a skill that I have. Others may not have. They may not have that ability. They may not have that physical ability. I don't have the physical ability to march anymore. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Last march I was in was like 2012, 13? No, 14, something like that. I was in the summer, and it was Take Back the Night March. Okay. And I worked in whatever since then, but now I'm older. I have arthritis, etc. I have some disabilities. I'm just not able to do it anymore. So, but there are some things you can do. So like I said, don't feel that you have to do everything possible. Okay. Sometimes people just can't, and I understand that. But if you can, there are things that you can do that don't entail you being able to, for example, doing what Nella does. Okay. Nella said one of my motorcycle cases has a cooling case in it. Oh, cool. I keep it stocked with plenty of drink, soda, beer. It's solar with a battery. I set it off for rolling off grid when I need it. Cool. Sweet.
Nice. That also, PC Joe says, like, the 19th century is between the 1890s and 1899, blah, blah. All right, so for the joke is, like, this is a cassette tape, a musical device from the 20th century with the line and all like that. But anyway, I do have another story to share. This is quite an interesting one. So, do we all know about, like, there's like going to be a general election for the mayor of New York City as well too. Zoran Mondani is excellent as well too. Eric Adams, the current mayor of, like, New York City, under indictments and bribery and, like, other, like, corruption, is still running as independent because, like, he didn't get the nomination as well too. But, like, one of the Eric Adams advisors, Winnie Griffner, kind of like was doing some campaigning, and then like a reporter from the city, local newspaper in like New York as well too, is just want to have like, oh, let's catch up and have a conversation, and then afterwards, the advisor Winnie Greco handed her, the reporter, a open bag of sour cream and onion potato chips. It's like, here's how, like, snacks, like, that's what the reporter's thinking. It's like, oh, no, thank you. It's like, no, take it. No, take it. It was open bag, but it was like crumpled clothes. We'll do, just, no, take it. After several instances from Eric Adams' advisor, the reporter did took the bag, got up there, was like waiting for the subway, opened up the bag. There's a red envelope in there with like one $100 bill and a couple of 20s. And so the reporters, they were had conversations. They have each other's phone numbers. So then text and told her, they're like, I cannot accept this. I cannot accept this. Turn back. I'm like, still saying, oh no, I'm off on it. It's like, no, I cannot accept this. Like, no, keep it. It's like, I cannot say, I'm sorry, I'm out of the city as well too. And so then like, and the reporter just like closed it off and so like that, and eventually the reporter did the right thing and just like told like her editors at the newspaper was like, this is what happened as well too, and so the city opened contact the Department of Investigation as well too. So yeah, Whitney Kretmer was for some reason or another trying to bribe essentially the reporter with just $140.
Well,
I know,
and
like,
they are
layers of ridiculously to this.
They're scared shitless of Mondani.
Yeah.
Okay, because first of all, I am not surprised in any way, shape, or form that Bill Clinton came out campaigning for Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, fuck Andrew Cuomo.
Because predators of a feather got to flock together.
Didn't Obama do the same?
Huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Didn't Obama do the same?
I don't know if he did specifically for Cuomo. I know he made critical comments about Mondani. But I ain't a fan of Obama either, and which I think it's hilarious when I talk on Facebook and Blue Sky and whatever, because I'm on Blue Sky too. I'm mouthy everywhere. But I talk on Blue Sky and Facebook about how much I dislike Trump, and I do. He's a fascist asshole. He is incompetent. Fortunately, there's enough incompetence in that administration, because if it isn't, we'd be farther into the fascism than we are. We're not like going into the fascism. We're not like stepping into we're in the fascism, okay? It's just that it hasn't affected a large enough group of people yet that a lot of people don't realize that. Because I'm not brown. I'm, if I'm a male person, I'm not a queer person, I'm brown, I'm white male, whatever. It doesn't affect me, so we clearly can't be in fascism yet. Yeah. But the people that supported Cuomo, and Clinton was one, and Obama might have been one, I don't know. like I said, are scared crapless of them. So they did the ranking voting, which I like. Okay, and Cuomo was like, "You're out of here," vote wise. Okay,
Yep.
so he decided to keep on running anyway because I already knew that that's all he wanted. All he cares about is power. Just like Gavin Newsom, that ignorant ass motherfucker. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh well, he trolls Trump. Yes, he trolls Trump, and it's absolutely hilarious that he trolls Trump the way he does. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, coffee burp. And that Fox News is losing their shit over him doing it, and they're talking about how he's bad, and he's should do it with the decorum of his governor's office and whatever, and he's perfectly mimicking what Trump does.
Yeah.
But they don't want to, and some people act like they don't know that. Oh, they know that. They don't want to address that. That's the problem. Okay. But so Gavin Newsom is another one. Gavin Newsom is just Trump light. That's all he is. You look at his, now it says I'm trans, so my experience is very different. You look at Gavin Newsom's track record on trans people and homeless people. There are literally pictures of him. I should have got one. There are literally pictures of him with his own hands destroying homeless people's personal belongings when they're cleaning out the camp.
Zionist too?
It could. Yeah, not
could be. I don't know.
Many Democrats are Zionists as well too.
Right.
Speaking of homeless as well too, back to like the Trump's takeover of DC as well too. Trump's like stated reason was like the rise of violent crime. No, violent crime has gone down for a lot as well too. Like, people's perceptions of crimes are often being like, well, DC is a primarily, mostly black city as well too. A lot of residents are black as well too. But also, there's some people probably have stated, I think Trump has stated, look up all the homeless people as well too. No. Unhoused people are just unhoused. There's just not adequate.
And whether you call them homeless or unhoused or whatever, they're just
unhoused people in DC.
They're still fucking people.
50,000.
There's
only like 55 beds in the whole county.
Right. There are unhoused and unhomeless, however you want to define that, whatever word you want to use. American veterans.
Yes.
I thought they supported the troops.
So a lot of those homeless people are veterans.
Yeah.
Jeff
what is
Sessions,
it, like 71% or something like that.
Jeff Sessions, who was the for a day or two, a little longer, but was the Attorney General for Donald Trump in the first term. Okay, I used to call him the evil Keebler elf.
Oh yeah, Jeff Sessions.
As a senator, he was senator from Alabama, and there happened to be a vote come up that had additional funding to the VA. It was like a part of the budget bill or whatever. Additional funding to the VA for veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan with PTSD.
Yep.
Okay, completely understandable. And this little piece of shit. Fortunately, the vote passed. Okay, he's only one of eight senators who voted against it. Okay, but this little piece of shit voted against it. And when he was asked why he voted against it, he said, "We can't afford entitlements." Motherfucker, I tell you what. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad he's out of there. But yeah, so that's their attitude is, if you're not, especially because there are people who I know that are ex-military, military like I am. Sometimes my words don't glitter. Military like I am. And I have camaraderie with those people. I don't have camaraderie with everybody in the military. Okay, I'm not one of these people that goes around, waving flags and talking about the meme where Santa Claus is, visiting the soldier who's sleeping on him, whatever. I don't give a shit about all that. Okay, but I do have some camaraderie with some of the people in the military. I know jarheads, I know flatfeets, which are Marines and Army, whatever. Okay, and I'm Chair Force or Air Force. But it pisses me off when, he said, like he said, we can't afford entitlements. Well, motherfucker, you can sure afford to send our asses over there for your let's see how much we got left. Okay. for your um, wars for oil, for your wars for money, because that's what it fucking is. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. It's got nothing to do with freedom. It's got nothing to do with America saving anybody.
We're saving the women of Afghanistan. It's like you're bringing feminism with bombs, cotton bombs.
Right.
The United States military has always been an imperialist army. It has always been white supremacy.
Yeah.
It has always been manifest destiny.
Yep.
It's like there's just a laundry list of what the military has always been.
And too many liberals are like, well, first of all, because Obama's black, they're like, oh, look, I'm not racist. I voted for a black guy.
Yeah, watch the movie Get Out. That movie's about you.
But, Obama caused, literally, not like he didn't himself push the button, but he sent the military and caused the deaths of innocent villagers, women and men and women and children, with his drone bombings, okay, and other things. And I literally had people say, well, Trump did this and Trump did that, and there's no way you can conflate the two. Yes, I fucking can.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't pull a fascism here, he's fine. It's if he does it over there, especially if it's brown people, if he does it over there, he's fine. But if he does it here, no.
I mean, why did Obama did not charge George W. Bush for his war crimes? Because Obama did war crimes himself.
Obama campaigned on change.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he didn't change anything.
He was always a war puppet anyway in foreign policy. He said he would press on Pakistan to release to find Osama bin Laden as well.
And a lot of people, of course, the right wing are like, he was wokety woke and whatever. Okay, Obama literally said
encounter Native Americans on our own land, unceded treaty lands.
Obama literally said that he did not believe in marriage, gay marriage. That marriage should be between a man, on his first administration, okay. That he did not believe in that marriage should be between a man and a woman, but he was okay with civil unions. And apparently, he was a Harvard Law Review professor and whatever else, partially at Harvard, okay. Very smart man. So there's no way he didn't fucking know, okay. And when he says all this stuff, I know that he knew what that is separate but equal. Okay, and it was already classified previously, never know about now, as illegal in education. It should be just as illegal anywhere else. And then he said later that his views were evolving. So then you get to Hillary fucking Clinton, and a lot of Trumpers go, oh my God, you love Hillary. I can't stand her. She's a TERF. She's been a TERF for a long time. I cannot stand that bitch. And when she said during the campaign, and then just recently, within the last week, she praised Trump for his actions regarding NATO. What? And so then people wonder why I'm not a fucking liberal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's well, the right will attack Obama for wearing a tan suit as well too. Is no, we have real criticisms of Obama, at how the banks did not get any punishment whatsoever for 2008 whatsoever. They all came out happy after that meeting because Obama just said nothing's going to fundamentally change. He was the commander-in-chief as well too. They even just dropped people off out to a random place in Mexico when that person probably wasn't from Mexico, it was from Guatemala or something like that. And it's just they don't even give them trail mix of water or something like that. Take care and drove off. So yeah, and it's just and oh my God, and she was I was in favor of gay marriage in 2013. It's you could have been in favor of gay marriage a lot sooner. You could have been in favor of gay marriage a lot sooner. But also, back in the 90s, something that Phoenix has never given her for saying this, she was worried about the super predators. So, something that, the Democrats, they'll want to like seem soft on crime, so they'll take the bait and like from the fascists on like crime.
Look at the border bill. They passed, and we're getting ready to pass, and Biden was going to sign it. The toughest fucking border bill we have ever had in this country.
Yeah.
Democrats worked right along with Republicans on it, and the only reason it didn't pass is because Trump didn't want it to pass, so he could use it as a campaign issue. Okay,
Yeah.
We're getting ready to reboot again. We're going to reboot one more time. We'll come back for a little while after this. When I come back, I've got a story about a Supreme Court justice who fucked the country over by themselves. Okay, so and Geek may have another one, and Indigenous may have another one, and I think we'll wrap it up. So I'm going to reboot this. So probably I'll let you all know, because the chat's still going to be open. So I'll let you all know in the chat how much longer it's going to be, but probably 5 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
We'll be back in about 5 or so.
Okay.
There we go. Bum-ba-dum. I forgot to switch the screen back, but whatever. I don't care. Because I'm a professional. That's what my cousin always says. You know? Yeah, you do that because you're a professional. I'm like, shut up, Jan. By the way, Jan, you know, if you ever see this, you know, I love you. She's good people. She's good people. We give each other shit because that's what cousins do. So, one more story for each of us. I'm going to use, there was something that Geek mentioned, though, about, what was it? Oh, it was about the fear of crime. Okay. Yeah. And it triggered a memory for me of Dara O'Brien is one of my favorite comedians. Okay. And not just because he's Irish, he's funny as shit. I wish he would still do more tours, whatever. You know, he's kind of funny. He's doing TV shows and whatever now. But I wish he would do more tours, and I wish he would do more stuff on religion because he was really good. Like he says, you know, I'm Irish, so he says I'm an atheist, but still Catholic. So, so because I guess he said that he was he was an atheist to someone, you know, and he said, but are you a Catholic atheist or are you a Protestant atheist? You know,
there's an important distinction there. Yes.
Another one I liked that he said was, I would like to take, and I'm paraphrasing him in the exact jokes, but I would like to take all the astrologers and homeopaths and priests and put them in a big bag, tie it up with string, and beat the bag with sticks. He said, anybody in life gives you the bullshit answers. Anybody in life gives the hard questions, like, what happens when I die, or where do my loved ones go when they die, or whatever. Anybody gives you an easy bullshit answer, and you go, do you have any proof for that? And they say, or evidence for that? And they say, well, there's more to life than evidence. Get in the fucking sack. He's absolutely hilarious. Y'all ought to check him out on YouTube. So, my little story goes back a little ways, okay? And it's not anything specific. It's about a specific individual, okay? So there's a lot of, especially in the white, female, liberal community, demographic. There's a huge amount of, oh my God, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and they have T-shirts and you know whatever, and the pink hat feminism with the pointy ears and whatever, okay. And as far as I'm concerned, Ruth Bader Ginsburg can kiss my big white Irish ass, okay. Fuck her. Yeah. For two reasons. Number one, Indigenous can probably speak a little bit more to this. Her record on Indigenous people and cases involving Indigenous people, but in my behalf, she held on to that position way longer than she could have, because at one point Obama had enough people in Congress. The Democrats controlled both houses. Democrats had the White House. Okay, they had enough to be able to push a nominee through. Okay, or even, you know, if they I can't remember the phrase they used where they nominated out of session. You know, there's a phrase for that. I can't remember what it is. But they could have done that and put another liberal in to replace her. No, she held down and she held down and she held down through 2 or 3 bouts of cancer. Now, am I sad that she had cancer? Yes. You know, I would normally say fuck her, but, you know, somebody that I follow on YouTube that I respect a lot, Stella Maggs, by the way, okay, great person, said, you know, she said my empathy for another human being is not dependent upon their politics. She said, because if it is, then I'm no different than, to some extent I agree with her. I don't agree with her all the way, but to some extent I agree with her. I'm no different than MAGA. I'm no different than a MAGA person saying, well, you know, because they're brown and they're wokety woke, they don't deserve rights. Okay. So I'm for equal rights for everyone. Equality, equity is even better, but equity for everyone. Okay. But anyway, go back to this bitch. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg, okay, held on and held on and held on through all the different bouts, and people kept telling her, you know, you should retire and whatever. And so finally, when Mitch McConnell was in charge of the fucking Senate, she retired. She passed away soon thereafter. I don't think it was very long, but she retired. And so he held Obama from nominating a judge for a fucking year.
Yeah.
It's too soon. It's too soon to the election. It's too soon to from this event or that event that happened in the past. It's too soon to this event coming up. And then, right as soon as Trump got into office, guess what happened? Within like a fucking month, they let nominations go through. Okay. So she fucked the entire country over for that. That's also what helped.
Load the Supreme Court with leftists, like what FDR did. He was just like, fine, I'm just going to make more judges then.
Right. And she fucked the country over with that, and like I said, it was that allowed Mitch McConnell to block Obama from putting anybody in, and that also eventually killed Roe versus Wade. Okay, which all these pink hats are like, oh my God, because here's the thing: ask indigenous women, the ones that aren't killed MMIW, ask indigenous women, ask black women, ask Latina women if they've always had equity and equal rights in this country. Ask them.
No, right?
Ask them when they had equal rights to medicine, and I'm not even talking abortion, but medicine and whatever, and then also abortion and everything else. Okay, ask them when they had those things. It was only there was fine, cool, dandy. Oh, it's too bad until it happened to white women. Suddenly, it's oh my God, it's a 5-alarm fire. Okay. And indigenous, do you have anything to say about this individual and indigenous cases or whatever?
Just fuck her. Like, she ruled against our sovereignty over and over and over and over again. She was nothing but a colonizer.
Oh my God, she's a saint. Yeah, okay, another white bitch. So, indigenous, do you have anything? Because I know Geek has, I think, another story. Do you have anything you want to cover? You don't have to. We're just running our mouths.
My birthday is coming.
Yes.
Oh. Now,
rotation
you don't have to. You don't have to. But do you, if you want, do you want to tell them where the hell is my? Puto. There it is. Okay. B says I'll bring the Rotel cheese, cornbread, and stuff. Peppers. Beast also said she had to prove she wasn't biased.
I love
fuck
Rotel
that bitch.
cheese. That stuff's awesome.
What was I gonna say? See, why you make me forget like this, Joey? I'm an American. It couldn't possibly be my fault.
Hey, you were
I said it was my birthday.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to tell the people? It's up to you. You don't have to. The day that you were born.
Oh, the 11th.
Of next month, which is
the 11th, and everybody who I tell that to goes, oh,
like it's bad or something. Like, oh my God.
It was my birthday on the 11th for so much longer.
Right. For my birthday, their birthday was 9/11 for long before any other shit happened.
Now it happens that my nephew was born on the day as it was literally happening.
Wow.
The towers were coming down while he was being born.
Wow.
And one of the nurses that worked in the hospital had a son who worked in the towers, and she was freaking out in the room and had it turned on. And I'm like, my sister's in labor. Can we turn it to anything else, really?
Right.
Yeah.
We could turn it off.
Yes, turn it off.
Like, it's a TV. She's not watching it. Guaranteed. She's over in there going.
Right. I worked in the hospital. B says happy early birthday. My birthday's next month too. My birthday's the 24th. I'll be 29 again.
29.
Or like Jack Benny says 39, but the fact that I reference Jack Benny means I'm a little older than that. But I remember, when 9/11 went down, I happened to come home that morning. I was working third shift at the hospital. I was ER and med-surg tech, and they called us all back. We eventually, the people who worked at the previous night or whatever got to go home after an hour or so. But you're required by Michigan law, now I'm assuming other states have probably similar, okay, you're required by Michigan law in the state of emergencies, if you have a license, and technically even though it's only ER tech, still a license, okay, you're required, they can charge you with neglect if you get called back to the hospital. Now obviously if you work 24 hours, you get home for an hour and you get called back, that might be a little different. But so the next 3 days, we did 16-hour shifts at the hospital. And then of course, I mean, that I can sort of understand a little bit, but like when 2000 happened, 1999 to 2000, they just freaked the shit out over it. Okay, oh my God! And I was working third shift at the nursing home at the time. It's just a nurse's aide, and they had the director of nurses, the assistant director of nurses, the maintenance manager, and somebody else come in case something happened. Yep. So, what about you, Geek?
No, I didn't have no more further stories or topics or anything like that, but I quickly kind of like something fun to like talk about, since like you mentioned your birthday and you mentioned your birthday, Joey, but like I kind of remembered, and I posted this like yesterday, like a viewer of mine on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SummerInTheGeek, and like also I stream on YouTube on like youtube.com/SummerInTheGeek, they asked me, did you grow up on Xbox? And I was like,
He's on Twitch too, by the way. Or they're on Twitch too, by the way. Anyway.
yes, I am. Him is also my pronoun, but yeah. And I was like, Xbox? I remember playing the Atari 2600!
I saw that post you did on Facebook. And
yeah,
I said...
I totally reposted it because that was the system that I learned how to play video games on too. And I tagged my cousin because we used to go over to his house. He had an Atari, and we used to play on his.
I
but
remember those.
first, we had to get rid of all the other kids in the house because there's so many kids in the house, and the rest of his family were actually illegals.
Oh.
And so we used to stand at the end of the block and scream, "La migra, la migra!"
Oh my God.
And they
You guys are horrible.
took it out of the house and up the side of the mesa.
I'm surprised they didn't come back and kick y'all's butts. And then when Geek posted this on their page, okay, I responded with "Laps in," and then you have the gifts on Facebook or whatever, right? For Pong, because
Yes,
that was my
the
first
original.
game. Pong, you had to take the wires, okay, from the game, came out,
Yep.
2 split wires, and then
Yep.
the ends of the wires were uncovered, okay.
Mhm.
You wrap them around the screws on the back of your TV for your antenna, take your antenna off, put that on there, okay. Turned it to channel 3 or sometimes 4,
Yep.
okay. There was no saving the games or whatever, you just boop, 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 and that was it. And all it was a paddle up and down, and that was it. That was my big,
Yep.
entrance into video games.
I remember that one too.
Mhm.
I take that
was
back.
actually pretty fun playing Pong that way.
I did like kind of like it. I take that back. 1981.
Mhm.
I was stationed in Ellsworth, okay,
Mhm.
Rapid City, South Dakota, and I had a C64, okay, which for those of you who don't know is a Commodore 64, okay, way back when, okay. It used, again, where's my little prop here, a little bit bigger, cassette tapes we
Yep.
saved our programs on, okay,
Yep.
regular music cassette tapes we saved our programs on, so sometimes, you might have a tape lying around, and if your friend or your brother or your sister or whoever thought, oh, look, there's a blank tape, I'll record something on the radio, it screwed up your program. Or vice versa, you recorded a program and messed up their tape. But they had a text version of Missile Command, where it would come, all in text, it would come down, whatever would come down, okay, and it was like, I think it was like an O or whatever. By the way,
Oh,
hi baby, what? I don't even like you. This is Bait Chuck. Marlene is sleeping.
Mhm.
Smart. Merlini is Gaeilge or Irish for Gaelic for marbles, and Paychok is Irish for peaches. Little butt. She likes to sit in my arm, lay in my the crook of, and sneeze on me, lay in the crook of my arm like this, and she really does the purring between the two. And then the other one, which is she's black and gray, white and gray. She has this weird thing where she loves her head like this. I know this one does a little bit too, but she really loves it. And she'll, if you hold your hand like this, she'll dive her hand right down in there, in the hole between your hand and your arm or whatever. And she doesn't purr as loud, but she talks a lot more. Meow, meow, meow. Little bitch. They're my evil demons. I have a couple videos on YouTube that I might even.
They're little angels.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I will post a picture on Facebook. I'll have to edit it, but I'll post a picture on Facebook of my legs, because the first 3 or 4 weeks that I had them, maybe a couple of months, it was so hot here in Michigan. So hot here. I can't. Anything above 65 is too warm for me. So I had to wear shorts, which is not good when you have 2 kittens who think that your legs are climbing trees. So I have probably at least 30 to 40 scratches on each leg of where they were, jumped on my leg, and I went, ow. Yeah, they're okay. Okay. You said you had a story?
No, I didn't. It was just like me sharing a thing. Now, my older sibling did correct me. It's like, bullshit. We grew up on the NES and the Super NES. The cartridge designer was generous in the decade before as well too. But I still claim, calling myself a gamer goober, because I remember playing on the Atari 2600 with the
and I did too.
button.
Or you had to blow in the cartridges for Nintendo, and
Yes.
Yeah.
like that was supposed to do something. Yeah, exactly. Like that was supposed to do something.
You didn't have the aerosol cans.
So a couple questions, and then we'll head out. What is if you could pick any food you wanted for your birthday, what would you pick? Any meal you wanted for your birthday, what would you pick?
If I could pick anything I wanted?
Any meal.
There was this, what's it called? Chicken marsala that I had once that had the marsala sauce had caramelized onions and sauteed mushrooms in the sauce, in the marsala wine sauce, and it was so good.
And a hint,
my God,
or a tip for people who, if you already know how to cook, then it's fine. But if you don't, if you're going to saute onions and mushrooms, okay, first of all, you don't need that heat super high. Okay, it just takes a little longer. Do not put them in at the same time. Put your onions in first. And when they're halfway to 2/3 of the way done, then put your mushrooms in, because otherwise the mushrooms can end up burning. Because they will heat up and caramelize a lot quicker. They're so good. It's like you put sugar in them, but it's not a overly sweet sugar. Caramelized mushrooms and onions are so good. What about you?
Man, you know what? It'd be something I would love to eat any days of the week anyway. But it's like my favorite kind of a pizza is particularly ham and pineapple. Yes, but ham, pineapple, and jalapenos and bacon, and not a red sauce, a barbecue sauce instead.
That's one of the most neurodivergent things that I've ever heard somebody describe liking.
I would try the barbecue.
Favorite pizza.
Right. I would try the barbecue.
Can you guess that I am neurodivergent?
Right. I would try the barbecue. I do not like ham and pineapple on pizza. I like bacon and pineapple. I'm just not fond of ham, but I like bacon and pineapple on pizza. And of course shrooms. Got to have shrooms.
I would totally be with everything except for on my half, I would want no jalapenos.
That's fair.
Because I'm a leaning about spices.
Oh, I love spicy stuff. I don't do. I've had friends that went through the Carolina Reaper challenge and then asked me, "You're actually a rabbit-ass mind. You think I'm fucking putting lava on my tongue?" I don't think so. I don't care if it's food grade or not. For me, I would pick probably. I was talking with Indigenous about this earlier. Chicken and brown sauce, which I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe started out as a Cantonese dish. And one of the ingredients in it is fish sauce, but just a little bit, which I also put in my stir fry. But you basically you fry it most of the way done, and then you put the chicken in a pan, like a baking dish. Pour all the stuff that you fried it in over the chicken and finish baking it, and it is hands down the best chicken dish I've ever eaten, ever. There's never been anything better if it's done right. There's never been anything better. It's
chicken
not.
It's just yummy. It just is.
Yeah,
Like,
I can eat. Chicken's a safe food for me. I can eat it and have eaten it 7 days a week. You know, I don't even like you. Used to do that to a friend of mine, and she still works there. Her name is Ruth. Shout out to Ruth, although she never watches YouTube. But I would be. We started doing this, oh God, years ago, because I've been retired now for 3 years, so it's obviously years ago. But we started doing this years ago, and so if I see her now, she does door duty at the local Walmart. And I'll walk up there and stand and wait, which is not something I normally do, you know, because you know me, I'm gonna walk up and blurt things, you know, and interrupt people.
Yep.
But anyway, so I walk up there and stand there and wait, and she'll see me, you know, smile or whatever. And especially I love doing this if it's a customer that doesn't know who I am, because I'm kind of sort of well known a little bit to the regulars there still. And I'll just look at her and go, "I still don't like you." She's like, "I don't like you either." Yeah, she's an awesome person. I worked with a lot of good people. The day that I left, the last month and a half that I worked the 11 to 8 shift, 11 in the morning, 8 at night. Okay. The last day was a Friday, December 29th. The last 2 hours, I went around and got selfies with my friends. What are they going to do, fire me? You know, I could walk out the door if I wanted to. So I took probably, I still have them, I took probably 45 selfies. And still didn't, and customers too, who knew that I was leaving, and still didn't get all the selfies that I wanted. When I came back next week, I got some more. You know, and I still have all of them. Some of them no longer work there. A few are no longer among the living. But I might have to put those together. I have a lot of friends that still work there. Might have to put those together and show some people.
Yeah, that whole die-in shit happens fast.
You know, I mean, obviously, you know, we haven't done it yet, but unless we're like, it's the zombie hour or something. But, you know, I think the first one that happened with me that I knew personally or, you know, or whatever, was a really good friend of mine named Mark Greenfield. It was in 95 that he passed away in a car accident. Different people over the years. I mean, I have some people in my family who passed away for unfortunate reasons. That I was, one of them I've known for, at the time, I'd known for over half a century. We grew up together. One of my cousins. He and another cousin who have also now passed. The ones that are left of that family, one is she's 2 or 3 years younger than I am, and the guy, he is 4 months older than I am, and he's had 3 heart attacks already and 2 open heart surgeries. So, yeah, you know, you get to my age, you know, y'all's age, and you know, it's bound to happen, you know.
Well, technically, I'm past my expiration date. Like, there's so much, like, statistically, I'm past my expiration date. People like me are not supposed to live to be even 50 years old.
Well,
you know,
and
because
then, you know,
based on being indigenous, being neurodivergent, being trans,
yep,
being, you know, a single parent, an only parent, which is it's slightly different than being a single parent, because a single parent, there's usually some other parent, some other place.
Right.
Right.
That may or may not
Where
be
an
involved, but
only
still it could be
parent,
involved. Yeah.
There's nobody anywhere
Right.
Yeah.
that can help you out
Right.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, you just add up all those things, and I'm actually past an expiration date that should have been some time ago. I should have been dead.
The first time I was homeless was in Michigan in the winter during the Reagan years. So I guess we can wrap it up.
Yep.
Start with Indigenous. You got anybody you want to shout out? Or, by the way, I will post on my Face and Booking, and they can post on theirs or whatever. They do have a GoFundMe because they're struggling. They can describe however much of that they want, but they do have one. They do need some assistance. So anything you want to say?
Just check out those GoFundMes and PayPal and charity links and stuff. Not just for me, but for like a lot of other people too. There's a lot of people who need help right now.
Joanna and Phoenix.
And mutual aid is kind of an important aspect of Praxis.
Geek is really good at stuff like that.
Yeah. I can go ahead and just promote. Yeah, charity links that page. I kind of manage that Google Doc as well too, about a lot of different various links to various different people and causes that can use to help. Just go through those links, pick any one that you want to help out as well too. Got to update to make sure some of those GoFundMes are still open and still current as well too. But if I were to say 1%, if you have extra money to help out the Phoenix, they can have a power bill coming up in next week, and for just promotion for myself, I'm Summer Geek on all the places, on Tumblr, Mastodon, Threads, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, I'm still on Twitter. Jonathan Scott on Facebook. You can find me there if you want. And YouTube and Twitch, and after I get off this call, I'm going to start my Twitch streaming and YouTube streaming of going to play Sports Dive as well too.
Cool. I'll be popping in for that. I am speaking of the GoFundMe. Before we get to anything else, if anybody has one that they want to promote, either for themselves or for somebody else, I'm more than willing to do that on my Facebook. I'm currently compiling a list of mutual aids, and then I have 2 accounts on Facebook. Well, actually I have 3, but 2 are private. So the account that I have that's public on Facebook is called Siobhan Raw and Unfiltered, with the ampersand sign, Raw and Unfiltered. If anyone wants to, like I said, promote a GoFundMe, or it doesn't even have to be that official. Somebody's having problems, and they may not have a GoFundMe, but they have Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or whatever. Okay, usually it's Cash App. I think that's really popular. So we'll end in 10 minutes. That's good, because we're going to be done by then. I have some comic stuff. I am an artist. I am a digital minimalist digital artist. So I do logos, but I also do simple art that's also, I think, funny sometimes. I have a comic strip called The Existential Cafe that's on Blue Sky, and that is about a group of gods, including Jesus, Cthulhu, Yahweh, Odin, Satan, whoever, in a bar called the Existential Cafe up in the clouds. Political, religious, social commentary. I have a one-shot panels that I do 2 to 4 times a week, called John and Jane. John is MAGA, Jane is lefty, and so that's kind of the bent of that comic. I'm starting a new one, yay, another endeavor, called Cyborg Weasels, and the title has absolutely nothing to do with the comic. It's been a running gag for me with Cyborg Weasels for almost 20 years, so I just finally decided, I'm going to use it something. So Cyborg Weasels is going to be about a trans woman. It's not biographical at all, about a trans woman who comes out in her mid-50s, So she's not like the typical, oh my God, they're kids or they're 20-year-old or whatever. And it's going to be again one panels, one shot things. Okay, her way of dealing with things. I am on Blue Sky as Siobhan O'Connor, and I think that's about it. So say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Yep, the other one's still sleeping.
Bye, everyone.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for popping in that may pop in later or whatever. The ones that were here during. Where the heck is... You know what? I'm about ready to throw this whole thing, this laptop through the window. I'm actually not, because this is a very expensive laptop. I saved money and saved money and saved money, used my income taxes to get it. But I want to thank everybody for popping in. I appreciate it. What is it you always say, Indigenous?
Hydrate and medicate.
There you go. Hydrate and medicate. Sometimes I usually hydrate. Sometimes I medicate. Usually pretty good about that. Eating is a completely different story. Sometimes I go 30 hours. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for popping in, who did pop in. I want to thank Indigenous. I want to thank Geek, some random geek. And next week we may have John back. We'll see how that goes. Nothing wrong with him or permanent or whatever. It's just some things came down. So he wasn't able to be here this week. So he might be here next week. If not, we'll still be here, same bat time, same bat channel on Sundays. And where is my thing next to the thing by the thing? There we go. All right, so thank everybody.